Number one is oil prices, right? I mean, oil in the wake of the death of King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. The commodity rose initially, but has since moved lower. Saudi Arabia, the biggest producer in OPEC, and largely the biggest factor, right, in what's happened here with oil prices. Initially, there was some speculation that the policy might change here in production levels, but it looks like not.
And not for the short term, but aside from the succession plan, you really have to look at who influences oil prices, and it's really the oil minister, Al-Naimi. And the question is, he's almost 80 years old. He's talked about wanting to retire, so who would take his place? Some analysts are telling me it would be the CEO of Saudi Aramco, who seems to be on the same page in terms of the Saudi oil policy. But that's really the position to watch, because the king can, quite frankly, do whatever he wants if he wanted to change it.
And obviously, there's a much larger macro story going on here that's ultimately going to be the larger influence of oil prices. So we saw sort of a whipsaw thing today, and then I think investors are then going to, again, go back to focusing on the bigger picture here.
You know, I heard someone say to me last week that, you know, if you're looking for a world central bank, you might say Saudi Arabia is the world central bank with what they've done, how they have influenced so many central banks around the world and their own economies and currencies, just given what we've seen with lower oil prices. Okay, lower oil prices may have many investors worried, but it's not getting in the way of the bull market, according to billionaire hedge fund manager Lee Cooperman, who was on with us yesterday and said he didn't see much euphoria in the markets yet.
I don't see any euphoric behavior in the stock market. You know, a comment I've made in the past, quoting John Templeton, bull markets are born in despair, they grow in skepticism, they mature in optimism, they die in euphoria. We don't have euphoria, as evidenced by an individual investor exposure to equity assets. You know, pension plans are less than 50% equities.
Yeah.
You don't have the sense that people are exuberant.